on this week's episode of Happy Homemaking with Heidi from Heavenly Minded Home. Follow alongside of me as I deep clean my home. I'm sharing step by step for the best nails ever. Getting real with things I've quit in my homemaking journey. All the details of why I'm committing to carnivore. And actual ways to start making money as a homemaker. So welcome, friend. Let's get homemaking. So while today would be a perfect day to head out and go for a hike, I've got a house full of kiddos with sniffly noses and little coughs. I also have a house that's a mess because we've had a very busy week with homeschool and just work here for our YouTube channel. And so today what I think I'm going to do is I am going to pop in my own earbud, listen to something educational and uplifting, and spend some time deep cleaning our entire house. But some days, guess what? I need to get away from just standing here and talking to the camera, and I need to pull up my own sleeves and get busy in my home. And so I pray that this video today can be just that for me and for you as well. And so if you want to pop in an earbud, I've got my clip handy. You know it's serious when the hair goes up. Let's pull up our sleeves, get to work, tend our home, see the beauty and even the mundane, and get our spaces back to ready, clean and tidy, the stage reset as we go on our daily adventures of life. That is how I am romanticizing today's very real, very raw clean with me. So if you want to pop in an earbud and clean alongside of me or watch along for some motivation, I am ready to get my work done, my spaces back to ready, because I know I certainly need it. Let's get to it. It really is such a blessing to be able to tend our homes, and I love to start and go through just one room at a time, start collecting all the things that don't belong there, right? Get them pulled out of the space before I can even start to begin to clean all the pieces and all the things. It takes so much to first just get that out. I have these amazing furniture wipes that I just got. I hadn't tried them out yet. I love them. These worked so well, made my job so quick and easy. I love getting old furniture and even frames from thrift stores. And so having something to really nourish the wood and clean well, super great win in my book. And then of course, my amazing scent diffusers here are the absolute best if you're looking for anything. So now that the space is getting cleaned up, it's smelling good, I've gotten all the stuff removed that shouldn't be there. It's always so great when we start to feel a little bit of progress, isn't it? Especially in our days where so much work can seem just so mundane, right? I'm gonna dust all of this and it's gonna start to get dusty tomorrow, right? Like it'll start back in as quickly as I get it done. But it does feel so nice to get it done and to remember what a blessing it is to have the ability to tend our homes and our spaces. I love my vacuum mops. I don't know how any of us have ever survived without one of these. This thing is the best in the whole wide world, and what I love about it is truly a one-stop shop. I have not moved our couches in a while, I will be honest and say. And so Betty, my amazing dachshund, and I found all kinds of treasures as we moved the couches. I was amazed at how much stuff gets under here. It is kind of disturbing, but all of the hair ties that our household has been missing, I found those, along with oodles and oodles of trash and even candy wrappers, which I thought was really hilarious because the kids aren't allowed to have candy. So there was all kinds of treasures under here. But with my amazing vacuum mop, what I love so much is I picked up, yes, the big chunks of things, but then it is so simple and so easy to just scoop it all up and clean the floors. that stuff, you guys. And that's not even the stuff I picked up. How do y'all get so much stuff under the couch? That's gross. Can you throw that away, please? So now that all of that was picked up, I was able to get back in my rhythm again and kind of finish up the floors here. And again, just being able to take the time and see that even though I want to be frustrated with myself for getting off track in the first place, instead I could give myself grace and say, you know what? Maybe I should stay on track, and maybe life shouldn't be so busy and we shouldn't have so many curveballs being thrown at us. But that's what happened. That's the season of life we're in. And that's okay. I can take the time now, get caught back up, kind of reset our home and our space, get everything back to ready, and just appreciate it. Even if it's not exactly how I'd like it to be and things are a little out of, system here with things being everywhere, that's okay. I can take the time now and say, Lord, you gave me today. Today's a new opportunity. Yesterday might have been a little messy, but today is that fresh start, and we desperately need it. It's amazing what a blessing it is to be able to work through our spaces. Like I said, I start with one room and I get it completely done, right? Getting everything out that shouldn't be there, and then cleaning everything, starting with the vertical surfaces, the horizontal surfaces, working from top to bottom, and then moving on to the next room where again, I went through now in the next space, pulled everything out that needed to not be there, and then could start working through and cleaning everything. Taking a couple minutes to just reset the space to bring that loveliness back really makes such a difference. And I know that sometimes, we can get so busy in all the things that life has to throw at us, but scheduling out even a little bit of time and working in this kind of clockwise rotation from top to bottom and just giving everything a nice, good scrub. It might not make it perfect. It might not fix everything, but to have a space that's been freshly cleaned really does make such a difference. And I think honestly, that's kind of what life is like in real life, isn't it? We're just that new grace that the Lord gives us each and every day, that freshness that we have in our spirit really does connect and make such a difference in our lives with whatever it might be that we're facing. And so sometimes it is out with the old and in with the new as the Lord refreshes our spirits each day. And I'm definitely feeling that not only in my house and deep cleaning my appliances and clearing out whatever on earth is hiding in my fridge, but feeling that deep down inside as well. I think that's something to remember more often. So our space is feeling so much better. I feel like a weight has been lifted off of me as I look around our home now and see a tidier space, a peaceful space, a space that's ready to serve our family and all those who enter our home. Even if it's not perfect, it's ready. Be sure to check out our simplified approach to the Fly Lady system, a biblically based homemaker system with over 40 videos, custom printables, and so much more for just $10. These videos are going to help you through every step of the way, going from deep cleaning to even minimizing and simplifying, but also things like your Bible study, including the kids and the chores, and keeping the home in order in a way that is practical and covers every area of your home. We'll go through the different zones. We'll look at different problem areas of the home and have custom printables to help you keep it all together and on track. We're going to dig into the areas like Bible time and so much more with some encouragement all along the way. Click the link down in the description to get instant access today. I'm going to give you the step-by-step, every little detail that you are going to need to get the best manicure you have ever had. No salon, no nothing else. You use this and you are going to have a beautiful, long-lasting manicure that even holds up for us busy moms and everything else we have going on. And on top of it, it's actually going to be truly nourishing to your nails, building up your nail health on top of looking beautiful. I'll show you how. So the game changer to your nail health, this one item that you need to start seeing a difference, you've probably seen advertisements and things out there, it's rocket fuel, okay? This rocket fuel by Beauty Guard is the best stuff ever. I'm telling you, my nails, they were garbage. They wouldn't grow, they were so thin, they were always splitting, they wouldn't last. I mean, they were just awful. And I saw this advertised and they had like a money back guarantee. So I was like, you know what, let me just give it a shot and see. I love this stuff and I don't know if I will ever live without it in my presence because it just works so well. It is all natural. You put a coat on each day and your nails are going to start to heal. You're gonna see growth. You're going to see a massive impact. And so I have a link down below for everything that you're gonna see here and all the savings that I could find for you all. You get special discounts with my code, and so I'm gonna pass it on with you. But this I believe in. I bought it because I wanted it, and then I found out after the fact that they would give me like a kickback if I referred someone. So like they give me a couple bucks, you get a savings, it's a win-win for everyone. Beauty Guard's Rocket Fuel, the best stuff ever. Every single person needs it. And if you have used their stuff before, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you liked it because this is like a miracle in a bottle. So you're gonna need that. You're going to need some nail polish remover and cotton balls if you have anything on your nails. Even for me, I haven't put on polish like color in a little bit. I just have my natural nails. I have Rocket Fuel on, but I'm gonna take all of that off and we're gonna start over here today. Some nail clippers, nail file if you need to kind of clean up your edges, shape things up a little bit. I love using these blocks. They've got different grits on each side so you can really smooth out anything. I will say that using Rocket Fuel, what's fantastic about it is it really amps up the growth of the layers to your nails. Sometimes when you go to kind of put on a new coat or do something, you'll see some layers that are growing out that haven't like completely grown out yet. And so I love using these kind of spongy blocks to just smooth everything out before I put on my new layer. So I'll show you all of that. I also have just a cuticle pusher to make sure we clean up our cuticles. And now, the secret ingredients to how to get the longest lasting manicure you've ever had in your entire life. We have 8 acres, we homestead, we have sheep, I garden, we have all kinds of things that we're doing. I am very hard on my nails, very hard on my nails. And yet with Rocket Fuel, they're still growing and incredibly strong and healthy. And with these 2 ingredients here, my manicures will last over 2 weeks. I've never had anything, even considering the expensive things I used to go to the salon and get done, never had anything last this well for this long. And every time I've ever changed my polish color using this method wasn't because my nails were in bad shape, it was because I was bored and I wanted to change it up. So full disclosure, these things last and last well. You're going to need their coat grip and dual. You can see that there, okay? You're gonna need these 2 items, and this is going to be your game changer that you cannot live without because they work so well. The really great point about these 2 is because these manicures will last you for so long, your stuff will last you for forever. I've done so many manicures with this and I'm like hardly used any off the top at all because you're gonna put this on, it's gonna lock in your color. You're not gonna have chipping, you're not gonna have peeling. It's going to work really, really fantastically. And you're only gonna have to do your nails, you know, every couple weeks or so. Longer if you're not impatient like I am. So grip and dual, you're gonna need those, and then whatever color of choice. Now, Beauty Guard does have their Rocket nail polish. It's a very healthy, natural nail polish. And so if you're looking for something like that, they have a bajillion colors. They're very, very pretty, very long lasting. They are great. I use those sometimes. I'll get them like when there's a good deal or something going on. I most often buy my nail polish from Dollar Tree. So I know we're not talking about like the most natural, wonderful thing for your nails, but it works. And so I found this color at Dollar Tree today. It's got a little bit of a shimmer in it, kind of a nude mauve-ish color, which I thought was really pretty. So I'm gonna redo mine here today with this color. So this is everything we have. I'm gonna turn the camera around, start working on my nails, and walk you guys through every single step so that way you can get your stuff ordered and you can get this manicure at home too. So let's get started here with some nice clean nails. Now, I have some Rocket Fuel on my nails, but even if you don't have anything, let's go ahead and take the nail polish remover. Any oils or anything that's on there, we wanna start with a nice clean slate. Your prep work is gonna make a huge difference here. Now, when you're removing nail polish, never take the nail polish remover and go back and forth and over your nails like that. Always try to keep the cotton ball or whatever you're using with the acetone on it and just move it in one direction. That's really, really important when getting that off and not really damaging the nail with the chemicals to remove everything. And so I make sure when I do this to pay attention and really kind of wipe around the edges, especially when I am applying Rocket nail fuel every single day. It kind of builds up in the corners. So I kind of make sure to do a nice swipe there around the edges, make sure you get it all. So once we have everything off and looking good, we want to make sure that we wash our hands really well. I forgot to mention, but I do keep one of these cheap little scrub brushes and make sure that I put some soap on that, lather it up real well, get under the nails, around the cuticles. We want to get everything nice and clean, because now that we have everything nice and clean, everything removed, it's time to get our base really buffed and cleaned up here. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. With Rocket Fuel, it's amazing because it makes your nails grow so much quicker, stronger, thicker. But the problem is you can kind of end up with these edges here that haven't completely adhered down yet. I take my sponge buffer block here, and this is a great way to really just, again, do this prep work and get us a nice starting grid to work off of. And so I will take the lighter grit and kind of just go over my nails a little bit. This is great for any ridges or imperfections in general, but especially for any of the nails that have some of that growth coming out that really needs to be smoothed down. Just using the block until I get a nice, smooth, and even feel on all of my fingernails. So now that I have everything looking really smooth and even, I don't have any rough edges at the end, I'm feeling ready to go in and clean up my cuticles a little bit. So I just take this and gently push back my cuticles. If there was any buildup left over that may be missed with the nail polish remover, this will help take care of that. And once this is all nice and ready, we can move into shaping. Now, if you need to trim your nails, you can. I personally do not really stress about all my nails being the same length. Some are longer than others, and that's okay. This is just a great time to really clean up and get the majority of your shape that you want to see for your nails. So now that we've gotten that all shaped up with the clippers, I like to take a nail file, again, all your movements in one motion. Don't be sawing at it back and forth, but if you're going one way, stay going that way. I like to kind of slide the file down the edges. It kind of helps clean up around the cuticles and everything, bring it to a point there in the center, and then kind of just smooth it out until I feel okay with the shape. I try to make sure that they look, as similar as possible so they're not all going a different direction, but again, to the best of my ability. Making sure everything feels nice and good, and then go ahead and give your hands one more good washing. No lotion, nothing else. We don't want to be adding anything on here, but we're going to get ready now and put our first item on, and that is the Rocket Fuel. Now, for everything that we put on, hear me out. Thin layers. You're going to see me constantly sitting here stroking the brush on the bottle to make sure that I get a small amount. You do not want to put big globs on. I start with one coat of Rocket Fuel on each of my nails. Rocket Fuel is phenomenal because it is packed full of nutrients that are going to help your nails to heal, to grow strong, to stop splitting, to be strong, to be healthy. And so I put one coat of this on on at the very base. And again, I want to encourage you, because the more you do this, I promise you, the easier it will become. And then we're going to want to let this dry. Every layer that we put on, we want it to get nice and dry before we move forward. And so I'm going to hang out and give this a few minutes to dry off, so that way it is dry to the touch before I move on to the next layer. So once I have that first one done, we're gonna start here with grip. This is layer number 2 in our Perfect Manicure system. Grip is made by Beauty Guard. This is a color locking base coat. This stuff is like magic in a bottle. I'm telling you, I don't know how they get it to work, but it's great. We're gonna put on one thin layer and make sure that when you do it, just like you saw, I kind of take the brush and run it over the very edge of my nail as well. So nice thin coats, and then take the brush and kind of run it over the edge to really lock everything in there. Really should only take a few minutes to be dry to the touch in between each coat. And if it's not, then you're doing it too thick and you're gonna want to back down a little bit. So we've got grip on all of our nails. We've made sure to coat from nail bed to nail bed and touch off on the ends. And now we can sit down, take a couple minutes, let the grip come to be dry to the touch before moving on to our color. So now that we are dry to the touch here with our rocket fuel on and our grip on, it is time to move on to some color. This is the fun part. Again, do the best you can. If you get something on your skin, that is okay. You don't need to worry about it. I'm going to use this one that I got from Dollar Tree. I actually really love the color. It is called Sneak Peek, and it's kind of this mauve colored, kind of more of a nude color, and I thought this would be a fun one to try. For the most part, I can get away with just doing one coat of paint, and it looks really well. So we're gonna go through here now, nail by nail, and go ahead and put some color in from side to side, top to bottom, making sure that you are getting that polish all the way down to the very edge of your nail tip. Now again, just like all the other layers that we have done, once you get this layer of color on, you want to make sure to give it some time to dry. We do not want to move on to the final layer until all of our nails are dry to the touch, because our final step here in this amazing manicure process is once our color is dry to the touch, we're going to put on a coat of Dual. Dual is this amazing top coat that Beauty Guard has come up with. Again, amazing ingredients. It's a wonderful thing, and this is going to lock everything in. This is such a strong yet nourishing top coat. All right, friends, we did it. We gave ourselves the bestest, longest lasting, most wonderful manicure ever right here with these very simple steps. Now that we have everything on, your biggest key factor is going to be just letting your nails get good and dry. I will put them in front of the air conditioner, kind of blow on them, wave them around, give them some time to just get good and dry. They look great though. They're already feeling dry to the touch, but I'm going to really let them just set today, being careful with that. Now that they're done though, I'll go ahead and I like to put on a nice thick moisturizer on my hands. I've used all of that, nail polish remover and everything, really dried everything out to get in a good polish. But now I want to put some moisture back in, and then I'll top it off with the Beauty Guard cuticle oil. This is their Guardian cuticle oil, and I put a swipe on every evening before I go to bed or right after I've done my nails. So now that they're good and dry, I'll put some cuticle oil on along with some good lotion. I really like this one, and just rub it in really well so that way all the moisture is back into my hands. My cuticles are feeling rehydrated, and again, a nice beautiful manicure and pedicure that is going to feel good and look great for the foreseeable future. And so hopefully this can be a help to you all. I hope that you will have the same enjoyment out of it that I get as well. Friend, I've got your back. Don't you worry about it. We had such an overwhelming success. I love getting y'all's comments that you've shared with me about Primal Queen. I started using it, was blown away at the difference I'm feeling in so many areas of my life. I shared it with y'all last month, and you guys are seeing the same changes as well. And so I'm going to extend our offer for August as well. For everybody who signs up and gets these beef organ supplements through my code linked down below, you know, with a special 10% discount. Everybody who signs up this month, everybody who orders anything using my link down below, drop your email in the form linked in the description to get entered in to win an additional month for free, completely on me, shipped over to you, because I believe in these so much. These are simple supplements that you take each and every day, and it's just natural beef organs made for women by women. And the amazing thing with this is when you take these supplements, again, super simple, 2 little supplements a day, it's easy peasy to do. They're all natural. They are from God's creation, and therefore your body can process these nutrients far better than anything else you have ever taken, ever, I promise you. Everything else that's out there with the vitamins we take and so many things that we tried to do, those different weird drinks and things that we're taking, a lot of them are filled with synthetic materials, or they're just disgusting and awful to take in the first place. I will be honest and say that's why I usually don't keep up with those other things. This, on the other hand, is super duper easy, and I have found so much healing going on. More energy, more mental clarity. I'm sleeping better. Intimate issues are getting so much better. My cycles are becoming far more regular, way less just difficult and hard. I'm not experiencing the same PMS symptoms. Skin, hair, nails, all of that is getting so much better with a great immune boost as well. So I highly recommend you all check out Primal Queen. I have more videos about this, detailing all of this, and if you would like to see that, leave me a comment, let me know. Otherwise, check out that link down in the description. Order yours today for 10% off, and then leave your email in the form linked below so you can get entered to win an entire month on me. There are certain things in my life that as a Christian, as a homemaker, I have just quit them. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not wasting my time, and I don't think you should either. And honestly, these things that I've quit, that I've given up, have left me feeling just so much more fulfilled. The first thing I quit was the pursuit of perfection. It's amazing how the perfect home, the perfect life, the perfect look, the perfect decor, the perfect whatever it is that you think you need to have, it really creates idolatry in our lives. I love here, I'm always reminded in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9, where Paul writes, "My grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness." When Paul was going to the Lord and asking him to remove that thorn from his flesh, and the Lord kept telling him, he said, "Hey, my grace is sufficient. It's all you need." We know that when we are at our weakest, the Lord just, his power works, you know, and it works in a way because our weakness allows our kind of pride, our pursuit of perfection, you know, to be taken away and the Lord to just shine through us. And I think that is so important that when we let go of this perfectionism, it really can bring peace and joy, yes, to our homemaking, to our lives. The second thing I quit would definitely be the comparison game. Maybe it's age creeping up on me. I don't know what it is, but ladies, how difficult can it be to get stuck in that comparison trap where we are constantly comparing our home, our life, our family, our marriages, right? Our looks, our everything to someone else, whether it's someone you know, in your real life, in your circle, it's another family you see at church, it's someone on the internet. Social media has just taken this little seed of envy and just blown it up into all of us, because we all get on our little boxes and we scroll through and it's like, oh, they're going on vacation. She just had another baby and already looks like this. Oh, they already, they just bought this new car, did this or did that, right? Immediately we scroll through and it's just envy, right? This game that we feel we need to play with comparison. That's not what we want to pursue. We want to make sure that we are staying diligent to be aware of the path that the Lord has put us on. Lord, how can I serve you? How best can we be used for your glory? That's where I want to be focused. That's what actually matters. And the more that we understand God's plan for our life, the more that we stay focused on that, the less we feel we need to be playing a comparison game with everyone else in our world. And Galatians 6:4 always is such a great scripture to focus us here, where it says, pay careful attention to your own work. See that? Your work, your lane, your path. For then you will get the satisfaction of a job well done, and you won't need to compare yourself to anyone else. Just like in school, right? Remember when it's time for a test and the teacher says, hey, eyes on your own paper? Are you doing that? Are you keeping your eyes on your path, your walk with the Lord, what God is calling you to do in your life? Were you constantly kind of spying around at everyone else's paper going, oh, well, they're doing that. They got that. Oh, she did this. They have that. Keep your eyes on your own paper, okay? You and I both. Let's stay focused on our path that God is calling us to do. There's only one of every single one of us. What is the Lord calling you to do? Focus on that. Make the most of that to His glory. And that is far more important than some ridiculous comparison game that we all know is easy to get caught up in. The third thing that I quit as a homemaker, I think this is so important. I quit feeling the need to please everyone, okay? I think especially as women, we really struggle with this. And whether you are in the home full-time, you work out of the home full-time, you're kind of a hybrid between the two, so often we feel the need to say yes to everything and everyone. Whether it is volunteering for stuff, it's hosting something, it's going somewhere. We feel the need to say yes, to please everyone. I see so often women specifically that are saying yes to so many, again, good opportunities. I see women so often that are volunteering for so many things within the church because they feel they're trying to do the best. And it does seem great, it does. But if your home is no longer in order, your home is in shambles because you're so focused somewhere else, your priorities are out of line and you're no longer serving the Lord because He calls us to prioritize our homes as our first point. Our first priority is always the home, just as we're going through in our biblical womanhood study, which if you haven't joined us already, I'll link it down below. You can join anytime and come and go through this very important study where we look scripturally at God's design and desire for women specifically, okay? And I love it because we see Paul when he writes this in Galatians 1:10, and it so worked perfectly with this great advice a wonderful friend had given me. But he said, am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? That's a big question we need to ask ourselves. Or am I trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. When you look at all the yeses you give, is it because you're seeking that approval of people? You want people to think a certain thing of you? Or are you truly focusing and intentional each and every day on the approval of Christ? Because again, that's why we do the biblical womanhood study. It's why we do so many of the studies we do around here, because we go, wow, when we really dig into God's word, we see exactly what He desires of our lives. There are many things I've started and then I have to go, I'm sorry, I can't finish this. I said yes to something, but it's meaning now a lot of no's, and those no's are adding up. And if I'm going to serve the Lord and I'm going to keep my priorities in order as God has called me to, I can't continue in this. I need to focus over here. I can't keep on over in that area. That's a really important lesson to learn, and it has a massive impact. Now, the fourth thing I've quit is the fear of missing out. FOMO is real, and it is disastrous, okay? Let's just say that. When you feel pressured to keep up with some activity, some trend, some just thing in your lifestyle that doesn't align with that small, quiet voice inside of you of the Lord going, really? Is that really where you need to be? Is that really what you need to be focusing on? But you feel like you do. So you keep doing all the things. You put your kids in all the activities. You sign up for all the stuff. You keep working. You keep spending money on the stuff that really you don't need to be. But you do all of those things for that fear of missing out, that fear of what others are going to think of you when you no longer have that, go to that, do that, wear that, listen to that, watch that, participate in that, whatever it might be. I love Ecclesiastes. It's like my favorite book in scripture. I talk about this all the time. I just love the encouragement from Solomon in his just very straightforward, true words. But in chapter 4, verse 6, Solomon writes, "Better to have one handful with quietness than two handfuls with hard work and chasing the wind." That peace, when I say I would much rather have one handful of quietness than two handfuls of just meaningless chasing the wind, hard work where I'm just spinning my wheels and getting to nothing. Coming to this place of simplicity, of the perfectionism is gone, the comparison is gone, right? Like all of those things that I just had to keep saying yes to. I've dealt with this fear of missing out where, hey, you do you, I'm doing what's best for me. Embracing simplicity and letting go of that fear of missing out has created this space for just a peaceful and simplified and truly joy-filled life that I don't ever want to compare myself to anyone else. I don't ever want to feel like I'm missing out of what someone else is doing or having or whatever, because I found my happy place. And not because it looks a certain way or it has a certain thing, it's because the Lord has blessed it. And that makes such a difference. Now, the fifth and final point, things that I have quit as a homemaker, the obsession with materialism. How much do we all consume? Silly story. Our town, we live in a little small town. There's not much here. Rumor on the county Facebook page is that we're getting a Hobby Lobby. The women in this town are losing their marbles. Hobby Lobby's a great store. I'm not saying anything bad about Hobby Lobby. I don't go into Hobby Lobbies. You know why? Because every time I walk into a Hobby Lobby, I go, oh, I want all the things. Because they're so pretty and there's all the fun things and they're so cute and they're all like curated all together and I just want all of it. And then they have their sales and their deal. Ugh, Hobby Lobby is a major corporation for a reason, y'all. I don't go in there. I don't go into really many stores, honestly, because I've quit my obsession with materialism. I don't have to have all the things. There was a time when I did. I was constantly going in. I was constantly buying all the things. I was changing my decor every season. I would bring out all the different stuff, right? And do all the different things. Now, I make some changes from season to season now, but it's not in this way of obsessive materialism. I don't want to continue pursuing that material wealth. I'm reminded of this over and over in scripture, but especially Matthew 6. Love Matthew 6 so much. Verses 19 through 20. Where Christ says, don't store up your treasures here on earth, where moths eat them and rust destroys them, where thieves break in and steal. Store your treasures in heaven. And I think that's such an amazing thing to put practically in our days where we go, okay, of all the treasures that I'm gathering up, am I more focused on the physical things or those eternal things? The investments into eternity that I put into people, time, right? That the real stuff in life that doesn't get burnt up. Or is most of my time and effort, money, in the things that can burn? I know for me, I fell in love with thrift stores. Everything I own in my house now either was a gift, came from a thrift store, or is homemade. Very few things in our home, I'm trying to think of something. Very few things in our home are something that I've really invested money into. I really can't think of anything. Yeah, I'm looking around. Everything comes from a thrift store, really, or has been gifted or something like that. But all of that is because I don't want to consume anymore. I spent so much time and money and effort in just consuming. I had to have this. I had to buy this. I spent so much money on this. I won't even get into my obsession with designer bags for the longest time. All throughout my teen years, my early 20s, it was such an area of idolatry for me personally. But when we really start to look at this and go, why am I so obsessed with this materialism? Maybe I need to start letting this go. I need to move into a more meaningful life focused on what truly matters. And oftentimes that starts with cutting stuff off. So if you can't stop shopping, you can't stop buying this, you can't stop having this, maybe it's time you start going through your closets. Maybe it's time that you keep what you need and you pass on everything else to those who it could truly be a blessing for, so that you can work on your heart, you can check yourself, and you can find that true contentment that comes from the Lord. I'd like to invite you all to our Biblical Womanhood study, Timeless Truth for Modern Women. This study is so near and dear to my heart as I love doing this with you all every single summer, a time to dig into God's Word and truly look at His design and desire for our lives. We're going to spend 12 weeks studying through this with video discussions. We'll also have a study booklet printable, coordinating sermons, our community group, and so much more available to you all. We hope to see you here at Heavenly Minded Home as we study through this, discussing what God's Word says and how we apply this to our lives to truly be those women who stand for the Lord here in our modern day and age. Come and join this free study. New videos begin in June and will go all through August. Sign up in the link down below and I'll see you over there. I'm getting ready to begin a 30-day carnivore reset, and I think you should come and join me. Now, reason number one why I want to take this 30-day carnivore challenge is because I'm sick of feeling like junk. I want to get out and make the most out of every day. I want to do the things with my kids. I want to be able to keep up on the things around my house. I want to get out and enjoy, especially with the beautiful fall season coming up and the wonderful weather we have here in North Carolina. I want to get up and just be full of energy and get out and just take everything on every single day. And that's really hard to do when you don't feel well. When you don't have the energy, when you're not sleeping well, when things in your body just hurt. Things like eating carnivore, I take the Primal Queen beef organ supplements to kind of complement, because I personally don't like eating organ meat, so I take the supplements. The way that this makes my body feel, it's like being a whole new person. And again, sign up for the challenge. Come and join me. I'll link the Primal Queen supplements down below with a special discount offer. Being able to heal through God's way of using the creation He gave us to consume, to fuel our bodies, allows us to start feeling so much better, honestly, from top to bottom in every aspect. The second reason why I love carnivore and I am so ready to get back on track with this 30-day challenge, like I said, sign up for it down below, because I'm going to give you guys every step of the way. For anybody who's curious what I'm eating, what about snacks, what drinks, what I'm doing, how much of everything, that's all going to be there for you. Part of it, of course, is losing weight. And I want to say this about carnivore is I have always stayed, fairly active, fairly busy. I'm not a person who sits well, but I've also had 4 kids and age, right? It starts to come on. You pick up weight, things happen. I am amazed at how easy and effortless weight loss is when it comes to carnivore. You eat great food. You eat as much of it as you need to feel comfortably full at your meal times, and weight just disappears. It amazed me because when I first did this, I saw this amazing weight loss. And then I will say that it kind of plateaued for a while. And the thing about carnivore is, if you've ever done this before, you will see weight loss. You might plateau, and when you've plateaued in the weight loss, it is because your body is healing. And for so many of us, there's so much internal healing that has to happen. And so that will happen for a time. And then I kid you not, I kind of was going through this like, man, is this working? This is a year and a half or so ago. I was like, man, is this working? I kind of feel stuck. Is it still kind of moving along? I don't know. And then I woke up one day, and in 1 month, I lost 20 pounds. It was insane. I weigh myself periodically, kind of just to track it and see where we're at. I don't really care what the number is, but I was just watching it to see. And all of a sudden I noticed one day that everything fit really well. And then my pants were a little loose, but I was feeling great. And all of these things were kind of coming together. And I weighed myself a couple times because I kind of didn't believe it. But it was like once that internal healing really kind of optimized itself, weight just fell off. Excess weight came off. And the thing that I find is so interesting is for people needing to just normalize and stabilize, it's really great for that as well. Because this diet isn't necessarily to lose weight, it's to heal and nourish your body. And so if you're needing to add weight on, your body will do that. If you have excess that you're needing to lose, your body will do that as well. God gave our bodies just such a way to work that they know how to balance and heal when we're properly fueling ourselves. And so if that's an area that you're like, yeah, I definitely could use some help in that, yeah, I get it. And this works really well when it comes to weight loss and just finding that optimal weight for your body in general and staying there in a healthy space. Now, the third reason I am so excited for this 30-day carnivore challenge is to balance my hormones. For most of us ladies, our hormones are so imbalanced and we don't even realize that that's the issue. So whether it's not having regular cycles, you're trying to get pregnant, you just had a baby, you're dealing in that area of menopause, you're having these different things going on, skin issues, nail issues, so many different issues that you might have, come back to the balancing of our hormones. And I was amazed to see the difference Carnivore was making with this in particular. The first time I did it, like I said, I hit a point with my PCOS that it was so bad and so painful, I couldn't take it. I was so sick of it. And it was like a light bulb went on when all of a sudden I started eating this way, and the pain, the swelling, the bloating, like these issues started to go away. For the first time in my life, I'm having normal monthly cycles. I've never had that in my entire life. It's crazy. It is literally the craziest thing. Hormone balancing with Carnivore, amazing. The moment I added in Primal Queen supplements there's 6 different organ meats you get in these just 2 simple capsules you take a day. Oh wow, like a whole new picture. And so combining a clean carnivore diet with something like these Primal Queen beef organ supplements, I am so excited and cannot wait to share every aspect of this with you guys, because I think it is just going to be so impactful. I've seen the impact of clean, straightforward carnivore, and I've seen the impact of Primal Queen eating a not quite optimal diet. And so bringing the two together, cannot wait. Let's balance our hormones, and that is going to change so much in our lives. Now, the fourth reason why I am so excited for this carnivore challenge is, you guys, eating a carnivore way of eating is so simple and effective. It really, really is the simplest thing you're ever going to do. I have tried so many different things. I've tried logging my food, calorie counting, I've tried so many different things, honestly. And you have to really put so much thought into them and think through it. And there's things you have to remember to do. Carnivore isn't that way. You eat meat and animal-based products. So that's dairy as to your body's liking, and eggs. And then you can add in like some berries if you want. Herbs, of course, are great, and that's kind of your safe zone there. It makes it so easy to menu plan, really simple. And I'm gonna show you all of that. So sign up down below for those resources, because menu planning is a breeze. Grocery shopping is going to be the easiest thing you do, because guess what? You hit up 2 areas of the store. That's it. You go get the meat, you go to the dairy area. That's all you have to do. And for anybody who's curious, I do already have a menu that I put together, a menu plan for the summer, and it includes links to a Walmart grocery shopping list. So you can just literally click, go, add to cart, schedule a pickup order for later. I've got you, you're set and ready to go. All of those things are linked down below. So if you kind of want an idea of the foods I'm talking about, you can go pick that up. It's gonna be easy. Even in busy seasons of life, this is so just so doable as far as something that you can practically fit in to your day-to-day life that you have and be able to run with it, to see those results right away and really start feeling that difference. And so simple, effective, you're speaking my language. This is absolutely where I want to be. And the fifth and final point for why I want to take on this 30-day carnivore challenge and why I truly hope that you all will come and join me for it is really just the impact it will have on my long-term health. I think for so many of us, we can look around to maybe where we're currently at in the season of life, or just to, family members and things like that. We see the way that so many are going. Diabetes is the norm. Heart disease is the norm. High blood pressure is the norm. You look at all the medications that everybody is on, and we could go into a whole thing here about just the system that is being pumped out that honestly just tries to keep us all sick and miserable and addicted to all of the things they want us to be taking to try to keep ourselves going. And I don't want to be that. I don't want to be someone that has to rely on all these prescriptions, that has to rely and just have these things in my life because I am sick, I'm unhealthy. Now, sometimes stuff happens and that's fine, right? The Lord has a path laid out for all of us. And there are some things that we can't do anything about necessarily to make them go away and not exist. We can do the best with what we have. And so I want to make the best choices that I can make to help out the process of what it is to live with a decaying body here in this fallen world. And so if I can use what the Lord has given us to nourish my body, to help me heal and to help me be as healthy as I possibly can moving forward, then of course I want to do that. Give our best each and every day to those the Lord has put before us. And it makes it a lot easier to do that when we're nourishing ourselves in a way that is allowing us to heal and feel so much better. Remember to come and get your Heavenly Minded Homemaker Planner. This is 93 pages of downloads for just $5, customizable to fit your home needs. There's biblical womanhood scriptures included. You can see the biblical holy days all year long, Passover to Passover, with seasonal designs that are beautifully watercolored, so that way you can use the multiple inserts to fit your home, your needs with the Heavenly Minded Home Homemaker Planner. What are some real, practical, you and I type people can do these things, ways that we can make money as a homemaker? I'm going to share my top ideas with you here today. Now, the first one is the one that I know nobody wants to hear, but it is the most accurate. It is the one that you can start enacting today to see a financial impact today. The first way that you can make money as a homemaker, the quickest way to do this is to start saving, okay? Hear me out. The power of a woman who is able to put some focus and thought and attention into the things of her home is something of a high price value. When you can find ways to be more frugal, to be more cost effective, menu planning, not eating out so much, right? Being able to cook healthy, cost-effective meals from home, that can save you oodles of cash right now, today. Being able to really, scale down, to minimize bills, cut out streaming things, go down to one car. There's so many different ways that you can do this, but the quickest way that I've ever seen when we have families going, both of us are gonna have to work, there's no way we can be a one-income household. When you break down how much money you're making outside of the house, it is always quicker to be able to save that amount of money than it is to go out and replace it with an outside income. And so do not skip over this step. I promise you that if you go through your family's finances today with a fine-tooth comb, you are going to find ways that you can cut out things, you can do it cheaper, you can find an alternative, you can come up with a creative solution that is really going to impact the dollar amount today. Now, the second way here to get you onto this path of making money as a homemaker is, again, one that I'm telling you, don't skip over on, and that is get educated. For me, I guess I luck out because this is my favorite thing to get educated about. I love learning about financial things. I am just driven in that way. I went to college for business. I've owned businesses. Like, for me, I just enjoy that stuff. So if I'm going to sit down and do something that's just totally entertainment value, relaxing, I'm gonna watch something. It's gonna be a video or something on finances, an educational type resource. I'm not saying, you know, make it your full-time job to just watch everything about everything, but start finding things, start pursuing people that are going to help in giving you some educational value. Go to the library, pick up some books, right? Check out some different things so that way you can really start learning about, you know, if you know nothing about business, start learning some 101s of business. If you know nothing about, you know, how to set up an online presence, a website, you know, social media, all these different things, start learning about those. And there's a lot of resources out there. If you just start kind of researching, little Google searching around, you can find these resources. But education should be a lifelong process for all of us. As a homeschool mom, I'm telling my kids, I want to learn alongside of you. I want to give you a love of learning, because if you love learning, you can learn anything, and that's going to take you very far. If you want to get somewhere, you want to succeed, then you need to first be a student, and you want to continue the path of being a student for as long as you possibly can. Now, the third thing that you can do, and I promise you we're going to get into some more details here, but the third thing that you can do to really impact your financial status today is to negotiate your bills. This is something that I think a lot of women are very kind of timid about, and they don't know how to do and don't. But you can call up the companies that you have, right? If you've already in step one, cut out all the extras that you don't have to have, you've removed those, but you have some bills that you have to have. Your internet, for one. You can call these companies and be like, hey, I need to negotiate my bill. This has gotten really expensive. You know, the price has gone up. What can I do? What are the options? When you call, you know, any companies that you have loans with and you want to negotiate your interest rate and things of that nature, you can call and negotiate. Okay. You're like, all right, now how do I actually make money? Okay. I'm telling you, saving money makes money. So just do that. Get educated, work on those ways. Now, how can you actually start doing something to bring in some extra cash? I got you. First thing you can do is you can sell an item. Now, this can be you're going around your house and just getting rid of stuff that you don't use, right? Posting things on Facebook Marketplace, putting things in consignment shops. Maybe you've got some stuff that's kind of broken and it's kind of been laying around, you're thinking of tossing it out. Maybe put some time and effort into fixing it up and then flipping it. There's a lot of different ways that you can go around your house and just start selling things. There's always something that you can physically make and sell that you're going to get a profit on. Now, it might not be your long-term goal. Maybe it's a very tedious thing. It's not very, you know, scalable or whatever it might be. Deal with that when you get to it. But if there's some way that you can physically produce something and to sell to someone else, that's a great way right then and there to start bringing in a few bucks here and there and really get that ball rolling. Now, the second thing that you can sell is a service. So maybe you're like, okay, I don't know if there's a particular product that I can do. Services are something that I love because you usually have a much lower overhead and a much higher rate of return. People are always willing to pay for an item they need or a service that they would like to have done for them. And so, of course, I think this one might be a little more tailored depending on where you live and what type of a community that you have. But being able to sell things like doing laundry service is a great one that people like. Now, again, if you're just at home, you might have some, you know, kind of cap as to the capability of how much you can take on, but also you could factor in charging, and then you just pick up the stuff, take it to the laundromat and do everything for the person and then bring it back and drop it off. Laundry service is a great one. Pet services are great ones, whether it's pet sitting, pet walking, pet cleanup service. That's another big one that people really appreciate. There's so many different things. And again, if there's something that you're passionate about or you know how to do, you can look at that and go, how could I do that for someone else? And then you can start figuring out, again, because you're pursuing getting educated, how to charge for that, how to create a business in that way. Even if it's not like a full-time business, you just take a couple projects here and there, that's totally okay. There's many different ways that you can pick up some kind of side services that bring in an income that can be a blessing to your life now. And the third thing you can sell is your knowledge. I absolutely believe that every single one of us knows something about something that someone would be willing to pay for. That's what so much of the internet is now literally being run off of. Look at this here. You're coming to my channel to learn about something that I have to talk to you about. I have been finding ways to make money from home for the past dozen years, right? And so I've tried many of these different things, trying different things out to find a way to make money as a homemaker, because I wanted to prioritize my family, my home, living my life as I really feel God calling me to. But of course, there still has to be money from somewhere. So what are some different avenues that I can try, praying that the Lord would bless them so that we can continue to grow in this? Now, selling your knowledge is something that is really a wide open area. It can be done in so many different ways. You can write ebooks, you can start a blog, you can create a course, you can do so many different mediums, whether it's, podcasts or video or whatever it might be. Another great way to sell your knowledge is to find a way to do that in your local community. If it's something that you can go and teach to children, that's a great way to reach out to schools, package it all together, reach out to schools and say, hey, for this fee, I can come and be a special guest speaker at your school and teach the children this. Maybe it's partnering with libraries or local community programs that you can come and teach the skill set to a group that's willing to pay. Now, the last point here that I want to make is this is great for ways that you can start saving today. You can start making an impact. You can start doing some little side things to bringing in some extra money. But I think the greatest dream for so many of us is being able to grow this into a family business, whether it's just you and your husband, maybe it's you and the kids, maybe your kids are all grown, but you would like something that everybody could come together and do. I think many of us think back on that old ideal of family industry and how beautiful that was and how wonderful that would be to create again, where our children can come work for the family business. They can all grow. We all can just get to live off and be blessed through the efforts that we're doing together. I know that was a really big important thing for us. And so it might be taking one of those items I mentioned before and growing that together as a family. But maybe you start looking at different ways. I know friends of ours, for example, they bought this. It's like a retired city bus that they bought because it was the most cost-effective way. They're trying to move from California to North Carolina, and it just made more sense to buy this bus. It's this amazing bus, and they're going to use it to move their family and all of their belongings to the other side of the country. That's wonderful. But then we start thinking, now that you have that, what could you do with that? Well, you could do bus tours, right? We live in the Blue Ridge Mountains. People love going through the mountains, people doing tubing. I think of bridal parties and different things that love and going out and doing these kind of all-inclusive fun experience type things. You could start a business with that bus. You can really get out there and build something of substance in a relatively low amount of time, but one that can have a very long-lasting impact for you and those kind of in your family, in your circle that wants to grow in these ways. So friends, I know I just dumped all kinds of information at you, but I pray that that can be a blessing as you go, maybe these are some ideas and some things that you haven't thought of before. What is something you could make? What is something that you could do? What is some knowledge you could share? And even starting before then, what are some things that you can cut out in your home, in your budget today that are going to start saving you money? If you have any questions, you ever want to know something further along this, leave me a comment down below and I am happy to answer it, to show what we're doing or to share more, whatever it might be to help and to serve you. It's what we're here to do. Thanks so much for joining me here for this week's episode of Happy Homemaking. Now we have extended versions of all these segments that will be available throughout the week for you to watch. Be sure when you subscribe to turn on your bell notifications so you see them as they come out, and you can access everything right here at this playlist. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you in the next one. Bye friends.